Hey guys, this is a lecture on how to tell the difference between things that you hear or read. Are they facts? Are they a scientific theory based on data? Or is it just an opinion? Nothing that's wrong with opinions. Opinions are important. But as we go through our lives, it's important to be able to sort or identify if what we're hearing is factual or opinion or something that is based on scientific data. Why is this important? Because we are inundated right now, meaning we have information coming at us from all directions. We hear it on the radio, we see it on the TV. Even social media is full of news stories that we're not always sure where they come from. So information, we have more access to information than ever before. And we need to be able to sort through them because we take action on the things that we hear and read and experience. And we want to make sure that we're always acting based on fact instead of opinions, so we don't harm ourselves or others. So as you work through this, hopefully you have your graphic organizer out in front of you from the Learn assignment. And whatever I show in the boxes, you're going to write into the boxes. Now, of course, you can shorten those or change those to make those work for you. I'm going to go over an example, definition, evidence, my personal example, and then you're going to add your own examples to make sure that you understand. Because if you can give an example of something, you understand it. So the first thing we're going to talk about is facts. Facts are kind of easy. Facts are kind of awesome. These are things that you can't argue, like my age. I'm 40, yeehaw. I can't argue that. You can check my birth date in public records. You can't argue the fact that I had sausage for breakfast. That's a fact. You can't argue the date. These are things that are factual, that can be proven or disproven. Someone experienced them. It happened. It exists. I work at Seward Middle School. That is a fact. Seward, Alaska is at latitude 60. That is a fact. These are pretty easy to prove or disprove. You can cross-check them. They are specific. They are based on numbers and things that happened or existed. Space travel is a fact. Dodos are extinct. And then someone in my class suggested sharks are real. That is a fact. But here in this box, you need to come up with something specific to you that you know to be a fact. Okay? So something can be proven. You can't argue about it. Now, sometimes a lot of facts are used to build up a theory. Now, when I'm talking about theory, in this case, I'm not talking about someone's theory of, wow, these new shoes I got are going to make me faster in gym class, or the theory that a donut for breakfast will make you heavier or dumber or something like that. That's their own personal theory. Not that that's accurate, because donuts are amazing. But theories, when we use them in this class, are referring to scientific theories. These are ideas that are based on research, data, massive amounts of experimentation, loads of observation. This is something that scientists work really hard to gather massive amounts of data for. And they try to prove them wrong. Like the theory of evolution has had lots of people try to prove it wrong. Climate change theory, plate tectonics theories, like these major ideas that in science we have attempted to prove wrong over and over and over again. The theory of relativity, the theory of gravitation, like these aren't just little hypotheses. They're not little scientific opinions. They have lots and lots of data. And that's what's in this little box. You don't need to write these tiny words. This is just me showing you examples of evidence. These are just 4 of the scientific studies that support the theory that eating too much trans fat leads to heart disease. Theories change if we get new evidence. Now, if new evidence comes out and a scientist is proving them wrong, then we have to revise or change the theory. We have to improve upon it. Or we might have to throw it out altogether and change it. But it's important that you understand that a scientific theory is not just a hypothesis. It is a hypothesis that has stood up to massive amounts of experimentation and research. Okay? So someone in their everyday life might use the word theory to talk about their ideas, their opinions, their hypotheses, but it's not the same as a scientific theory. Here are some examples of theories: theory of evolution, theory of planetary movement, the theory of relativity, climate change, that kind of thing. Okay, last but not least, probably the easiest one for people to think of examples of is your opinions. Opinions are a personal view. They're your judgment, they're your ideas, your predictions. They're not necessarily based on facts or knowledge. Sometimes they are. Sometimes your opinions are based on your observations of life. Like, for example, I think students learn better if we start school a little bit later in the day. I think students perform better when science is in the first part of the day instead of at the end of the day. These are based in observations and experience, but they're still my opinion. I use the words I believe, I predict, I think. The other thing you'll notice is that they often use words that are like superlatives: the best, the most devastating, the absolute worst, the craziest. Very descriptive language that can't be proven or disproven. It's vague and interesting and big or scary, but it doesn't mean it's a fact. There aren't supporting pieces of evidence or research or data to go along with opinions. Opinions can't be proven or disproven. If I say, I think the 7th grade is funner than the 8th grade, which isn't necessarily true, that's an opinion and I can't prove it. I could do a scientific study that says, does the 7th grade laugh more than the 8th grade does? And I could collect data on that. So here's an example of an opinion: dairy is bad for you. Okay, some people believe that. There may be theories there, but those are going to be supported with research. Okay, now it is your turn to spend a little time writing some high quality examples that make sense to you of an opinion, a theory, and a fact. Make sure that you show your teachers your examples so I can check them and compare them with a classmate to see if you understand them well. I hope this helps. Make sure you ask me questions or others questions if you have them. May the force be with you.